What's up, guys? Today I got the hair down, I got the tie-dye shirt on, because we are talking about Sacred Mushroom of Visions, Teonanacatl, edited by Ralph Metzner. Sorry if I mispronounced that word. That is a Aztec word, and I don't really understand how Aztec phonetics works. Teonanacatl is a word used to refer to any of the Mexican psilocybin mushrooms. Rather than having a single author, this book is a compilation of works by many different contributors. It's a work of history, anthropology, spirituality. You could even say it's a work of art. Each chapter is a different subject by a different writer, giving us a very broad, though somewhat shallow look at a very big subject. We get contributions from mycologists Paul Stamets and Gordon Wasson, psychologists Timothy Leary and Ralph Metzner, historian Terence McKenna, and many others. It's hard to know where to start with this book. Whether you're looking for your first or your 10th book on psychedelic medicine, I would say this is a very good pick. It's one of the better books on psychedelic medicine that I've read. The array of different authors serves to prevent the reader from getting bored, which I hate to say is a very real possibility with these books on psychedelic medicine. It also provides a very well-rounded perspective, um, which is really helpful here because this topic can be a slippery slope between the pursuit of knowledge and outright nonsense. The book is structured into two parts. The first is essays, and the second is subjective accounts of people's experience with the psilocybin mushrooms. We get a lot of interesting information. For example, did you know that in Japan you could buy psilocybin mushrooms from vending machines all the way up until 2002? We get a lot of information on the history of the mushrooms in America, from just hearing about them in the 1950s to the Harvard experiments done in the 1960s to the illegalization in 1970 and onward. We get a lot of interesting information about the history of the therapeutic use of hallucinogens in general among Westerners and Native Mexicans and Americans. They spend some time talking about how the Spanish church saw the use of hallucinogenic plants and mushrooms as a very great threat to their religion. When Spain came over and conquered the American empires, they worked very hard to suppress the natives' right to use these entheogens, all the way up until murdering people. And it's very reminiscent of what happened with the Native Americans and their peyote. They cover a lot of interesting theory, which is always fun. They talk about how the symbiotic relationship between the mushroom and Homo sapiens, because it turns out wherever Homo sapiens do their thing, it happens to provide a very beneficial environment for the proliferation of mushroom spores, are disturbing the soil, and our commerce seem to do wonders for the mushroom spores. They cover the idea that psilocybin could have been the catalyst for human language and cognition. They talk about the idea of psilocybin spores coming from other star systems, and they do have the integrity to mention that there's no actual scientific evidence for some of these claims, which I really appreciate, because it seems these days people want to just believe anything without evidence. So I really appreciate the caveats that they will throw in. I thought the book was overall a pretty enjoyable read. My favorite parts were the discussions on the therapeutic uses of psilocybin in the treatment of OCD, anxiety, cluster headaches, and depression. So if this is the type of thing you're interested in, yeah, I would recommend it. Well, hey, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want, go out and get Sacred Mushroom of Visions by Ralph Messner.